welcome back to Buckeye, Arizona and the Royal Crown. I'm Amy Wilson, getting to visit with the winner of the limited heading. I'm joined now by J.R. Marshall. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, be sure and hold your mic up so everyone can hear you. And let's talk all about Stevie's Pride and Pearl. This is a 2020 stallion that you rode to the win. So kind of start and go all the way back to the breeder and then who you're partnered with owning this horse.
Okay, so I moved to California, I think it was 7.5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And through a mutual friend, I ended up with his mother. And how I got that horse is he got it back from another trainer. He said, "This is a really good horse, and you should know what a good horse feels like. So I want you to ride this horse." So I showed that horse in the cow horse deal, and my first bigger win was on that horse. His mother. He was an embryo then. So. Mm-hmm.
So that's a special story and goes back quite a ways, and I feel like has probably made quite an impact on your career. Talk about that, especially
for
today.
Sure. I had never, the cow horse world had never won anything. Like I placed at the county fair one time, and I was able to win in Idaho on that horse, the Derby and the Hackamore in the limited and the level 1 deal, and that was his mom, and so that was a big deal for my whole business because I started getting horses in after that horse, his mom.
Yeah, so you own the horse along with Jay Anthony. So by Stevie Rey Vaughn and out of One Time Pearl. That's a mare that you've been talking about. I think we should go ahead and take a look at all your runs from today. Let's start in round number 1. You were 8th in this round, a 142.89. So as we watch this run a couple times, tell us about it. Any thoughts?
I just got way too close. My only thought on the whole run is I had gotten too close, and I didn't want to wave it off.
Who was helping you with these runs?
Andy Holcomb. Andy's a dear friend of ours, him and Fallon.
Yes, such a nice guy. He's been up here and visited too. Yeah, we get to take one more look at it in slow motion. Again, this is round number 1, so this is how it all started off in the limited heading today here at the Royal Crown. We'll finish watching this run before we move on to round number 2. And you were 5th in round number 2, a 146.83. But we're going to take a look at the limited heading round 1 results. Monroe Timberlake on RBR Smart and Flow, a 149.06 for $1,000. Fallon Avery was second on Little Rough Gunner, a 148.55 for $500. But great job to the top 5. Logan Vanderham was 4th and 5th. We got to visit with him yesterday, and you see Paige Turner number 3. So now we'll take a look at round number 2. As I mentioned, 5th place in this round, a 146.83. So tell us about this one, JR.
Well, I just felt like it was a little bit smoother on that deal. Andy always says complete your runs, and he's very calming, and he never complains. He's like, "Oh, that was a good handle." That's all he said to me.
Building your confidence as you went. That's
he
good.
does that, yes.
Yeah, I think you summed him up well in that he's very calming and just takes everything pretty easy.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on how your horse worked on this one?
I was much happier in the second round, and I wasn't near as nervous in that round. I was pretty nervous in the first round.
Yeah, just to get things kicked off.
Yeah.
So after finishing round 2, we'll show you how those results looked. And leading the way, Logan Vanderham, just right time, a 148.47. That was $1,000. And again, a big congratulations to the top 5 in round number 2. Let's move on to round 3. And JR, you were 3rd in this round, a 148.05. So we'll get ready to take a look at this one. What did you remember most about round 3?
I thought I broke out, so I threw my rope way quicker than Andy had told me to swing over them once. He said, "These cattle are really softening, swing over them." But I was like 0.00. I barely got out, and so I thought the buzzer was going to, and I just threw my rope, and it worked out.
Man, when it's meant to be, it's meant to be, isn't it?
Yeah, Andy was right there as always.
It's pretty cool that he gives you advice as you go along.
Oh, for sure. He always has. I've done my very best always when he was healing for me.
Yeah, that's so cool. What a great friend and partner here today. Let's take a look at the round 3 results. Macy Ray Warkin was 1st and 2nd. JR, there you are at 3rd with that 148.05. Bill Myers 4th, and Paige Turner was 5th in this round. And then we get to move on to the short round. You were 2nd high call, so you put the pressure on him. You guys were 8.63 seconds, and then ended up with a score of 148.37. So you had to be a little bit nervous for this run, weren't you?
A little bit. I was way more nervous in the first run. I don't know. I really love that horse. I've done everything. We moved a couple years ago, and I tagged calves on him, and I worked a sale barn on him. We moved, and I have 3 kids, and I didn't have very many horses to ride. And so I used that horse a lot to do everything. And so it was this first time we showed, and I just wanted him to do good. My friend Jay that I own him with, you know, he's let me kind of make all the calls on that horse, and he's been very patient because it's taken me a lot longer building a place and moving and to get him trained. I'm just glad he was good.
Yeah, really good. This is a look at the short round. Only 4 qualified runs in the short round. Fallon Avery leads away. Little Rough Gunner, a 149.81. That was worth $1,000. JR, you were second, and that was a 148.37. Then Logan Vanderham and Monroe Timberlake. So great job to all of them and the horses and the owners and the breeders. We want to say congratulations as we look at the final results. And there it is, 586.14. Won over $7,000 today. That's on Stevie's Pride and Pearl. J.R. Marshall. Logan Vanderham finished in second on just right time, 584.18. Won over $6,000. And Fallon Avery was third. Little Rough Gunner, a 583. You see fourth and fifth, Monroe Timberlake. Fifth place was actually on 3 head, so even got paid out on that. So great job and a big congratulations to all of them. JR, you mentioned everything that you did on that horse, and that had to have helped his foundation and just being able to handle any situation. Any comments on that?
He's literally done everything. Like, someone commented how unsteady he is, but like, we doctored a lot of weed pasture cattle and stuff, and he goes in the half top trailer. If you go day work for somebody, you go with them, and that is what it is. And he's just done a lot of things. Like, whatever it is, we healed on him this week. My wife and I won the rope together, and that was the best one I had. So we ended up second in a rope and healing on him this week. And I don't heal very good at all. But he just kind of does everything. The kids all have ridden him, and he's just very easy to get along with, and he tries. He always meets you halfway. Someone made a comment. I was out of town, and I told him to turn him out, and I have a field that I turn him out in, and they were like, "Oh, how do you get your horses easy to catch like that?" He came to the gate, and I was like, "Well, I really like that horse. If you walk in the barn, I don't have but 3 stalls, and he's got the first stall. He's got the best stall I have, and he's been really good to me."
Yeah, you know he's special. That's so cool, though, that he's done all that cowboy work, and then he can show up in the show pen and win.
Yes. No, he's nothing really. I don't know, like, I got here, I was nervous, so I took a walk around on him, and I tied him up and I roped the dummy, and then we watched the kids for a minute, and then I just got back on him and walked in. Like, that's him. He's pretty. He has a big motor. Like, he wants to go. He's never, like, he's not a deadhead, but he's always gentle. And like, we don't have a barn here. I just let him up to the trailer this morning and clipped him. I didn't have any other way to do it. I just was out in the field, and where we parked the trailer, and clipped him, and that's him, you know. And so I'm thankful. You can't go anywhere without good horses.
Yeah.
You really can do nothing. And my friend Mike that died, that bred that horse, his exact words on his mom were, "I want you to feel what a good horse feels like." And through the last 7 years, I've learned a lot about horses. And without a horse, you're at home, or you're sitting in the stands.
Yeah, and once you finally feel the difference on a good one.
Exactly, and his mom was
clicks.
Clearly that way in the cow horse for me. I'd never had a horse work a cow like that. I never felt a horse like his mother, and then he's been the same and equal value in other ways.
That's awesome. Well, your wife was standing up here videoing and obviously cheering for you when you made the run you did, and then I saw you walking across the arena with your little family. You told me 3 kids in 3 years, so...
Yeah, they're like 14 months apart, I think, or something like that. Yeah, they're pretty close. The one's almost 2, and the other ones are 3 and 4.
They're little, and I'm sure they keep you busy, but they love being along for the ride, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, like today, I gave the one a ride, waiting on it to start, and in between rounds, my little boy rode him around. Like, I'm very blessed with our family. Like, when I told them I wanted to come to Arizona for the winter and live in a horse trailer, they thought I was crazy. They still think I'm crazy, but I am thankful for the opportunity to have a good horse and to have so many good people. We've been very blessed. So many good people have helped us, and I called Andy and said, hey, would you help me? He's like, absolutely. And then it was really neat. I've never seen Miss Fallon show. We roped together at home, but it was really fun to see her get to show with Andy, you know, all of us, because they're like family. They're wonderful to us.
That's really cool, all the different connections, and I thought it was awesome, all the ladies we saw roping in this roping.
Yes,
so I like seeing that. You mentioned went into roping with your wife the other day, so it's cool that you both get to do this together.
Yes.
You said come to Arizona and live in a horse trailer for a couple of weeks or for the winter. You're from Oklahoma, right?
Yes, ma'am. We live in Ryan, Oklahoma. It's a very small town, a lot of really good friends there, and that's why we moved there.
Yeah.
Mr. J that owns that horse, him and his wife. And then there's a lot of people. We go to church right there in town on Ryan Baptist Church. It's a small community. And we told everybody at church, we're going to leave for 3 months and live in the living quarters. And they're like, people do that? And I said, well, they do that in Mecklenburg and Buckeye in Arizona. They do that. Yeah. So that's what we did. We got here a few weeks ago.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you got the win today, and it was really fun to get to hear more about your story. Any final thoughts on what a blessing this win has been, or how excited you are about it?
You know, I've thought that was a very good horse, and I'm just so thankful he was good here today. And I'm very thankful for my wife and our friends that Jay has waited patiently on me to train that horse, and I haven't had much of a facility. I've had to haul out. I've gone lots of places. I go to Joseph's and rope some, and Robbie Boyce has helped me, and I've just kind of bummed whoever let me come rope. We rope at Mr. J's, and everybody's been patient to make him, and I'm thankful for that. And then all our friends at home that are taking care of things and checking on things, and we're very blessed, and I'm thankful to be able to do it.
That is awesome. I mentioned too, he's a 2020 stallion, and you said they actually just collected him.
Yeah, they collected him 2 weeks before I left to come here. So
for the first time. So we'll see what happens with all of that, but it was a lot of fun to see you win today. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
So again, that's J.R. Marshall on Stevie's Pride and Pearl, winning the limited heading, just over $7,500. The roping continues here. Be sure and watch it all live and free on roping.com. I'm Amy Wilson. We'll be back with more.